All right, man. So the next question is, what do you do if you threw everything into your career and you flopped, not because of lack of effort, but lack of opportunity, and you were forced to move on later in life? And he puts at the end, he said, you literally lost everything pursuing that dream.
Yeah, man, that happens. That's the human condition, right? You bet the farm on this career. You put everything into it. You fully committed to it. You sacrificed a lot. You probably some of your time, your energy, your weekends, took away from family, and then it didn't pan out like maybe you were promised or you were told it would. You lost it all. You're given the boot. You're given the exit. Maybe the company got acquired by another company and they're like, hey, we don't need your position anymore. I've seen that happen to people. Maybe the economy is in a place where they're going to downsize you. Maybe they have a reason to get rid of you that they haven't told you. Whatever it is, that's the human condition. And as soon as you understand that the human condition comes with suffering after suffering after suffering in order to get to success, then all you're doing is what the Jehovah's Witnesses do. You knock on enough doors. Like currently it's one of the highest, fastest growing religions, yet they have to knock on 99 doors to get 99 no's to get one yes. So they know their metrics. So the same thing applies to business. Like same with relationships. Like it's rare for someone to be like, the first girl I dated is the one I married and the one I died with. Like that is a rare thing. You're probably going to date several people. And in fact, you're probably going to get married to one of those people after making the right decision. And even then there's like a 50% success rate, right? Because the other half gets divorced and maybe they learned a lesson there. And the second time around, hopefully things work out better. But we also know that there's a 50% divorce rate there. Third time around, hopefully things work better. So this is the human condition. You can't grovel in this pain. You can't do anything other than go, I'm still alive. I've got a heartbeat. I got value that I can add to any organization. And I'm going to go and reinvest in myself with a company that I believe I can add value to. And I'm going to demand this kind of pay or ask for this kind of pay. The alternative might be you look at this as a blessing. And he's like, you know what? Here's my chance to go all in on me. I lost it all anyway. Here's my chance to go all in on me, to tighten the belt and to live off top ramen for a while and to maybe go back and watch one of those episodes on the 4 high income skills that we talk about on the BK show and pick one of those 4 high income skills and start doing it and become your own boss. You know, this might be a blessing in disguise, but I'm here to tell this person that it does take a lot of failures, defeats, and adversity and suffering to get to the success. The road to success is paved with dead squirrels, potholes, and detours. It always has been for me. I've got multiple businesses, and not a single one of those businesses was a straight line from start to multi-millions. It was literally a squiggly line that went up and down, sometimes back, sometimes underground, sometimes up and then over. And it always took longer in time and more in money and energy investment than I thought. That's just the human condition.
What do you tell the person that has analysis paralysis where they just overanalyze everything, right?
Yeah.
They kind of found a direction they want to go and they're going in that direction. They're doing whatever they can to do it, but they're kind of maybe putting along a little bit because they're unsure if this is the right path. Maybe their last path, they felt like 100% certain. They went all in and now they're scared. It's like, what if I do the same thing and it happens again? Like, what do you tell that person?
To that person, it's as simple as this. Again, it's the human condition to have to feel that way, right? Like when you fall down ice skating, the next time you're on ice, you're going to have a little trepidation. That doesn't mean you're not going to get on the ice. You're just going to be more cautious. You're probably going to think about, what did I do wrong when I fell and injured myself? You know, someone, let's say, chokes on a spoonful of soup. That doesn't mean they're not going to eat a bowl of soup again. That just, maybe you're going to start paying attention to how you eat. Because if we do this whole procrastination, which is procrastination, analysis by paralysis or paralysis by analysis, it's just procrastination. It's, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to make this mistake again. So I'm going to hand wring and think about it and look for perfection and gather as much information as I can. It's procrastination. We only have to jump out of the airplane and then build the parachute on our way down. Every successful person I know has a good plan, but that plan looks good only on paper before they launch. Once they launch, they realize, fuck, that parachute didn't open. I'm going to have to use my pants, my underwear, my shirt, and my hat, and my belt to rig up a parachute before I splat on the ground. It's the human condition. Or you can have this paralysis by analysis and again, live an average life with regret and look back a decade later and go, this is what I could have become.
Right.
Like, who wants to be that person?
Right.
I'd rather take a risk and fail again, knowing that the path to success is riddled with failures, but ultimately the universe does provide you the outcome as long as you're putting in the effort.
When you say bet on yourself and, you know, it's kind of like take that risk, take that jump, do you mean, I kind of just want to hear you go a little bit more in depth on betting on yourself, like going in, like what exactly do you mean by that? Is it like, for example, somebody who wants to be, maybe they don't necessarily want to be, but let's say a firefighter, right? Like a career job versus they want to make music and that's not going to pay right away, but that's kind of going in and betting on themselves. Like what exactly, I guess you're going to have to do both, right? Like you need something that makes money and then something that gives you passion, right?
So that person, that's actually a really good analogy, right? Betting on yourself is exactly that. If you're going to be a fighter, but you've got this passion, you know that your calling on this planet is to be an artist, to create music, to move humanity through your music. Well, guess what? Unless you're independently wealthy, you're going to have to still be a firefighter. You're going to have to work your 412s and ride on the fire truck and help people out. And then while everyone else, because I've got a good friend, Bobby Vaccio, he's a fire captain in Black Lick, Ohio, just outside of Columbus. Shout out to Bobby. You know, me and Andrew went and spent the whole 24 hours at the fire station with him.
That's dope.
Like, buildings aren't on fire and people aren't having heart attacks around the clock.
Right.
So I was like, Bobby, these dudes just hang out on fucking lounge chairs and watch movies? He's like, yeah, for the most part, that's what, you know, we clean the engine, we clean the fucking fire station, and then we work out, and then we're eating, and then busting balls and cracking jokes. Like, it was really fun, but then there's a lot of movie watching. But then, like, the alarm goes off, and then, you know, Andrew, they put a fire hat on Andrew, and then, you know, we're in there, and it was actually really cool because Andrew was probably 10 or 11 years old that we went, and we're in the back of the fire truck, and these guys are putting on all their gear, and they're having to stand up in the fire truck as the fire truck's driving. And me and Andrew are watching, and they put on a little, you know, fire coat on Andrew, and we all have a little headphone on, and so we can hear what the driver's saying. And obviously there was some car in front of the driver that wasn't going out of the way, and he just kept blasting the horn, and he's like, that fucking driver. And then, you know, Bobby's like, sorry, Andrew, like on the radio, you know, like on the earbuds, and Andrew got a good laugh out of it. But the point of this being is that guy, he can't hang out on the lounge chair and watch movies. He can't on the weekends hang out with his boys. He can't do all those things, because if you feel a higher calling, betting on yourself is, I'm going to do my shift at the fire station, no matter how much they bust my balls while they're watching movies. I'm going to work on my art. On the weekends, when I have my 3 days off, while some of them want to hang out, I'm going to have to work on my art. I might have to miss some birthdays and weekends and work on my art. I might have to sacrifice other things and work on my art. And the thing is, there's no guarantee that art's going to succeed after all those years. But guess what you developed? Resiliency.
Right.
You developed other traits that are marketable in other areas of life, in other things you can do. Maybe that guy doesn't become an artist, but maybe he becomes an amazing songwriter. Instead of an actual singer, he becomes a writer, or producer. He becomes the next Dre, right? And so we don't know where your path is going to go. Like, it's not guaranteed that if you do all these things and sacrifices and bet on yourself that you're going to have the win. The win might look very different. You will have a win. It will look different. But betting on yourself means sacrificing the time with the homies and the weekends and the TV for the big goal and passion and purpose that you feel you're cut for, so that eventually you can turn in your resignation at the fire station and then go all in on your art.